Okay, so our next task, we're going to actually be creating a promotional post. So where we've already created a logo, we're going to use that as well as our house style incorporated into a promotional post. The first thing we want to do is save our logo as an image file. So we have a Google drawing here at the moment. What we'd want to do is we'd want to get rid of the bits that we don't want. So I can simply draw a box over that and hit delete. So all I have remaining is the bit of the logo that I want to keep. Okay. Now, if I save this, it's going to save all of this area uh, as part of the logo, which ideally I don't want. I want a logo and that's all. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all the bits of my logo I do want to keep. I'm going to move that over to the corner. Okay, and as you can see, those red lines, that sort of snaps it in to where I want it to be. Bear in mind, I do have a little bit of my border possibly going off that image, so I will just move that over a slight touch. Okay, so again, I will still have all of this area as part of my logo, which I do not want. So I'm going to head over to this little these few lines in the corner. Now, wherever you see this, this will allow you to change the size of that box. So sometimes you may see that in a form, such as on Google Forms, where you may have a long answer. If you do not have enough space, you can usually use that to make the box bigger. Okay, so I'm going to try and get this down to the size that I want. Okay, there may be a few other bits you may want to change. For example, I'm not entirely happy now that it's a little bit more closer up with these couple of letters going on to the border. So I will just very quickly make that a little bit smaller, a touch smaller. There we go. Okay, so I've got my image there. I'm going to now click on File, Download, and I want to download that as a suitable file type. Now, there are a few of these which are image files, a few of these which aren't. So a PDF, as you probably know, is not an image file. It's actually used for documents. We've got the two images, JPEG and PNG. And then we've also got scalable vector graphics. Now, scalable vector graphics is a vector graphic. What that means is it saves the file based on coordinates and lines. So when you when you have that saved, as much as you try to zoom into it, it will not pixelate. So that's what a vector graphic would be. Ideally, vector graphics are the most ideal file types to use for an image. For a logo. However, in this case, we're going to use a PNG. PNG and JPEGs, they use something, or they are something called bitmap images, where they have each little tiny dot, which is a pixel, has its own individual color. So as you zoom into it, the more you zoom in, you will start to get tiny little dots that you can see, each of which are its own individual color. So JPEG would usually keep a white background, which we don't want. We're going to use PNG, which again will be a bitmap image. However, it will have a transparent background. So we're going to click on PNG image. And what that will do, as you can see, that save that onto your computer in your downloads folder there. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to begin to create our promotional post. Now, imagine one of the best places to advertise in this day and age is via social media. So most companies will be posting on places such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, not so much, but it is another place to post. And another place which tends to be quite good for advertising in this day and age is TikTok, unbelievably. But anyway, so we're going to create an Instagram post. Now, if we want to grab this image onto that, there's a few ways we can do that. We should be able to just drag that file and drop, and there we go. We've got our image there. Bear in mind, I cannot edit this image anymore unless if I sort of crop it down or edit it. But I cannot move the particular assets around. So that's my logo as it is. You may want to use the insert image function, where you can use an insert image, upload from computer or from your drive, etc. Okay, so that's how we can get our logo on. Now we want to think about exactly what are we trying to promote. You will be promoting, trying to direct traffic to your website. okay, to have people check out what you've got for sale, and ideally they would then make a purchase. So we need to think about exactly what we're going to be doing in order to get people onto our website. In English, what you may have used is something called persuasive writing. Again, you're going to need to try to be persuasive here. There's a number of ways you can be persuasive, but the first thing you would need is your post to look good. If we head over and look at some Instagram posts. Now, if you notice, these posts are very clean, very minimal. Okay, there's not much going on these. But one thing you may notice if you look at this post, for example, the first thing when you look at that is the 30% off. Okay, if you look at this, the first thing you'd notice is 50% off. Okay, these are the things which usually draw people onto the post, and then once they look into it, they will then hopefully click on the website. So the first thing you want to do is draw people into your post. This one here, probably the first thing you'd notice is the Black Friday deals. So think about how you can make something stand out. Feel free to do a little bit of your own research, thinking about exactly how you can get people uh, to to look at your content. These you have, we are hiring, huge letters. That's what we see first. Something new here, 20% off, something to do with 10K. Obviously, they've got 10K followers there. But we'd want to obviously make that draw people in. What would people be drawn in by? You're not going to draw people in by telling them that a t-shirt is $24.99. You're going to draw them in by telling them they'll get 20% off everything. And then obviously we want to include our logo onto that post. We want to include a website there as well, and any other sort of nice visuals we can use to get them in. Feel free to use the internet to grab images if you want. Obviously, I do not expect you to bake a cake and take a picture of it. I do not expect you to make a burger and take a picture of it. However, if you wish to do that, you're more than welcome to. Feel free to go onto the internet and grab some nice pictures and get them on. And think about the positioning. You may want to put them in the background, put a shape on top with a bit of text. You may want to put it on the side with the text next to it. You may want to use an image as your whole image and possibly have some text on top of it. Think about color schemes you're using. Try to bring it back to your house style. Think about the positioning of what you've got going on. Think about the font styles you've used. Think about whatever you can. Remember, you're firstly trying to draw attraction to your post, and then you're going to try and convince them to go onto your website. Okay, this will be taking another couple of lessons to do. So this is just to start you off. The first thing you'd also want to do, or another thing you'd want to do, is think about the file size or the image size. So you may want to go online and find out exactly what size Instagram posts are usually. And you then want to go into File, Page Setup. You can change the page setup to custom, and you can change it based on centimeters, pixels, inches, whichever one you feel is the most appropriate. And obviously, that's something I'll be looking out for. Have you looked at the technical side your of your post? And I just want you to answer a few questions as we go along as well. Okay, feel free to pop and ask me any questions should you need them.